Today, it's time to harvest our potatoes. My name is Josh, and welcome back to Better Terra. We planted these potatoes close to 75 days ago, and now they're showing signs that it's time to harvest. If you missed the planting video, I'll leave a link in the description below. To make sure you don't miss any future episodes, be sure to subscribe. Before we get started setting the taters loose, go ahead and sustain that like button. Just to do a quick recap, when we sat these potatoes in soil, we started with just 4 to 6 inches of soil in the bottom. And as the plant grew, we add more soil covering that new growth, leaving only about 4 to 6 inches exposed. That's called hilling. And I think with these we hilled about 4 or 5 times. And if you saw that previous video, we started with 3 Yukon Gold seed potatoes and 4 of the red potatoes. So that was much less than a pound of potatoes for each planting. I'm super curious to see how much we're going to get from those starters. Let's take a moment to talk about what to look for when it's time to harvest. One of the first signs is the yellowing of foliage. One of the next signs is after the plant starts to blossom and then the blossoms wilt, dry, and fall away. You can see that here on this one. The difference in a set of potatoes that I started a few weeks later, this one still hasn't blossomed yet and all of the foliage is nice and green. With the both of these, you can tell they've almost completely fallen over also. Now let's see what we get out of using this flap. You're supposed to be able to do this as the plant grows and pull potatoes out that are first formed in the bottom and then replacing it and then harvesting more potatoes as it grows. I just don't think that is a very viable option. This is not particularly easy, and so far I've only found 1 potato. So I'm going to resort to just dumping this into the sifter. That's a nice one. Here's the original seed potato. I'm not seeing as much as I was hoping for. Another small one. A couple tiny ones. The other seed potato. Let's try to get most of this greenery out of here. There's another nice one. Couple more small, and another seed potato there. Another good one. I might have dumped too much to give it a good shake, but we'll see. Ugh. Oh yeah. I'm not finding nearly as many as I had hoped to. Well, I think that's it for the red potatoes. We we put in 4 good-sized potatoes, and we got out less than that, I think. More potatoes by count, but certainly less in volume. A little disappointing. So these are the Yukon Golds, and we started out with 3 good-sized seed potatoes. I'm going to start by just trying to remove the foliage so it's a little easier to work with. These containers worked really well for this purpose. The tomato is doing fantastic. So I don't know if it's attributed to the container itself or just the method. We might have to experiment with another kind of container. But let's go ahead and get this one emptied out a little less at first, and then we'll do the rest so we can use the sifter a little bit more efficiently. Working from the top down. I see lots of roots in this part, but no potatoes yet. Still, no potatoes. One small one. A tiny one, the seed potato. Another seed potato. And a couple smaller ones. As you can see, the seed potatoes were really big, and they're still extremely intact. We may add that to the stew pot. And the last seed potato and a couple other small ones. We didn't get nearly the yield from either the yellows, Yukon Golds, or the red potatoes. The yellows yielded less than the yellows. Quite small potatoes. They look delicious, but again, did not quite get the yield that we were hoping for. Let me do one last sift through here for the hopes maybe there's a monster hanging out, but no such luck. Even though I'm a little disappointed with the harvest, it was still a lot of fun, and I was happy to be able to share it with you. So the soil will go back in, we'll re-amend it, and it'll go into the next project. The greens and the seed potatoes, those will get added to the compost. We make sure nothing goes to waste. I was going to talk about long-term storage of potatoes. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. I'm pretty sure these will last 1 or 2 meals in our house. But should you have a great harvest, Just give them a light brush off and then store them away in a cool, dry place. For us, that's our basement. Wait to wash them until you're ready to cook. That's it for this episode, but please click that like button. And remember to keep on working toward a better Terra, one small harvest at a time.